A friend of mine told me the story, and now I'm going to share it with you.
My hands went numb when I saw both their names on my calendar for the same Saturday. Not cold, numb. Like my brain was trying to protect me from what I'd done to myself. I'm Marcus, 34, marketing director at a tech startup in Austin. And for 8 months, I'd been dating two women simultaneously. Not casually, seriously. With feelings, with futures discussed, with I love yous exchanged. Emma, 29, was a graphic designer I'd met at a networking event. Dark curly hair, laugh that made entire rooms turn around. We'd been together 10 months. She thought we were exclusive after month 2. Jade, 32, was a veterinary surgeon I'd connected with on a dating app. Runner's build, dry sense of humor, the kind of competence that made you feel safe just being near her. 7 months together. Also thought we were exclusive after our 6th date. I told myself it wasn't cheating because I genuinely cared about both of them. Stupid, right? But that's what I'd been telling myself every single day for 8 months. I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be with. I just needed more time to decide. They both deserved honesty, but the right moment never came. The right moment never comes when you're a coward. My stomach knotted when I realized what I'd done. Emma's birthday dinner, 7 p.m., the Italian place she'd been wanting to try. Jade's return from a veterinary conference, 8 p.m. pickup from the airport. Same day, 2 hours apart. I could make it work. I always made it work. That's what I thought, anyway. The system I'd built was elaborate. Pathetic, looking back, but elaborate. 2 separate Google Calendars, one for Emma, blue, one for Jade, green. Never double-booked before. Different friends groups. Emma's friends were creative types, Jade's were medical professionals. Different neighborhoods. Emma lived downtown, Jade was up north near the hospital. Different date patterns. Emma loved trying new restaurants and art galleries. Jade preferred hiking, her apartment, quiet nights cooking together. I'd even set different ringtones. Emma was a guitar riff. Jade was piano notes. My phone was basically an early warning system. Social media? Barely posted. When I did, it was generic. Sunset photos, coffee cups, nothing that screamed relationship. I told Emma I was private about my personal life online. Told Jade I was taking a break from social media for mental health. Both believed me because I was consistent. I showed up. I remembered details. I was present when I was with them. Genuinely present. That's what made it worse. I wasn't some player checking his phone through dates. I was building real connections with 2 people who deserved someone who wasn't lying by omission every single day. The guilt was constant, like background radiation. I'd wake up next to Emma after she'd fallen asleep talking about maybe moving in together, and my chest would feel hollow. I'd drive Jade home from the airport after she'd spent the whole ride telling me about her week, holding my hand, and I'd feel this wave of something. Shame? Fear? I could never quite name it. But I also felt relief when I was with each of them. Emma made me feel creative, spontaneous, like the version of myself I wished I was. Jade made me feel grounded, capable, like I had my life together. I didn't want to lose either feeling, so I kept lying. The week before Emma's birthday, I noticed things shifting. Emma had been asking more questions, not accusatory, just curious. "You've been so busy with work lately, are you okay?" She'd run her fingers through my hair, concerned. I'd blamed it on a product launch. She'd believed me. Jade had gotten quieter. Not withdrawn exactly, just observing. She'd watch me when she thought I wasn't looking. Once she picked up my phone when it buzzed, just to hand it to me, and I'd grabbed it too fast. She noticed. I could tell by the half-second pause before she smiled. I should have seen it coming. The universe doesn't let you maintain that level of deception without consequences. But I was so deep in my own system, so convinced I could manage everything, that I missed every single warning sign. Thursday before Emma's birthday, I took her to pick out a present. She wanted to show me this vintage record player she'd been eyeing. We were in the shop, laughing about something, and she grabbed my hand. I'm really happy, you know? Like genuinely happy. I didn't think I'd find this again after my ex. My throat closed up. "Me too," I managed. "I know we haven't talked about it officially, but I love you. I'm in love with you. And I hope you feel the same way. The rational response would have been honesty right there. Emma, we need to talk. I've been seeing someone else. I'm so sorry. Instead, I said, I love you too. Because I did. That was the twisted part. I meant it. Saturday morning, I woke up with my jaw already clenched. I'd felt it in my sleep somehow, the tension migrating into my bones. The plan was simple. Dinner with Emma at 7 p.m. Appetizers, main course, dessert, done by 8:30 p.m. Drive to the airport, pick up Jade at 8:45 p.m., get her home by 9:15 p.m. Jade would be tired from traveling. I'd help her unpack, leave by 10:30 p.m., drive to Emma's for the end of her birthday. Perfect. I'd even bought 2 cards, 2 presents. Emma's was the vintage record player, $800 I'd saved up for. Jade's was a first edition of her favorite book, All Creatures Great and Small, another $600. Looking back, I'd spent $1,400 to maintain a lie. That should have told me something. The afternoon dragged. I tried to work. Couldn't focus. I kept running through the timing in my head. Traffic on Saturday evenings was unpredictable but manageable. The restaurant was 25 minutes from the airport. Jade's flight was scheduled to land at 8:35 p.m., but flights often landed early. I'd built in a buffer. Around 3 p.m., my phone buzzed. Jade. The piano notes. Hey, so the conference ended early and I managed to catch an earlier flight, landing at 6:15 instead of 8:35. Can you pick me up? Miss you. My hands went cold first. Then I read the message again. 6:15 p.m. Emma's dinner started at 7 p.m. I sat there, phone in my hand, while my heart rate climbed into my throat. This was it, the moment the system broke. I couldn't be in 2 places at once. For maybe 30 seconds, I considered telling Emma I had a work emergency, canceling her birthday dinner on her actual birthday. But even I wasn't that cruel. I texted Jade back. Stuck in a work crisis, might not make it by 6:15. Can you Uber home? I'll come by as soon as I'm done and we'll have a nice evening. I'm so sorry. She responded immediately. Oh no, what happened? Is everything okay? Product launch issue, nothing serious, but I need to handle it. I'll explain tonight. Okay, don't stress too much. See you later. Love you. I stared at those last 2 words. Love you. The lie was evolving. It wasn't passive anymore. It was active, aggressive. It was eating everything. Part 5. Dinner with Emma started perfectly, which somehow made it worse. She wore this deep green dress I'd never seen before. Hair down, minimal makeup, glowing. The restaurant had dim lighting, candles on every table, exactly the romantic atmosphere she'd wanted. You look beautiful, I said, and meant it. You look stressed, she said, studying my face. Work stuff? Just a lot on my mind, but I'm here. I'm present. This is your night. We ordered wine. She talked about a new project at work, rebranding for a local nonprofit. Her eyes lit up when she described the creative direction. I listened, asked questions, tried to focus, but my phone was in my pocket. Every few minutes I felt it like a phantom limb. Jade would have landed by now. She'd be getting her luggage, taking an Uber to her apartment, alone. And what she thought was just a schedule mix-up, but was actually calculated betrayal. You keep zoning out, Emma said, not unkindly. What's going on? I blinked. Sorry, just tired. Tell me more about the color palette you chose. She did. She was excited, animated, happy. And I was counting down minutes until I could leave. The food came. We ate. She loved her pasta. I barely tasted mine. My throat felt tight, like swallowing took conscious effort. Around 8 p.m., my phone buzzed. I ignored it. It buzzed again. Piano notes. Jade. Do you need to check that? Emma asked. It's fine. Work can wait. Third buzz. Marcus, just check it. I don't mind. I pulled out my phone. 3 texts from Jade. Home now. You still coming over? I know you said you're busy, but I haven't seen you in a week, and I really missed you. Is everything okay? I texted back under the table. So sorry, this is taking longer than expected. Might be another hour. I'll text when I'm leaving. Emma was watching me when I looked up. Everything okay? She asked. Yeah, just work. They need me to look at something later tonight.
On a Saturday night? That seems excessive. It's launch week, comes with the territory. She nodded slowly. Didn't quite believe me, but was trying to. We finished dessert around 8:45 p.m. Emma opened her present, the record player, and her whole face transformed. Pure joy. She got up from her seat, came around the table, kissed me. This is perfect. This is so thoughtful. Thank you. Happy birthday, I said, and felt like a fraud. We walked to my car. She held my hand, leaned her head on my shoulder while we waited for the valet. Content. Trusting. So this work thing, she said, do you need to go handle it now? Yeah, unfortunately. But I can come back after. Bring the record player up to your apartment. Stay over. You don't have to. If you're exhausted, we can tomorrow. No, it's your birthday. I want to. The valet brought my car. I drove Emma home, helped her carry the record player upstairs, kissed her goodbye, promised I'd be back by 10:30 p.m. Then I got back in my car and drove north to Jade's apartment. The whole drive, I felt this strange lightness. Not relief, more like detachment, like I was watching myself from outside my body, observing this person navigate the logistics of emotional fraud with the efficiency of a project manager. I parked outside Jade's building at 9:20 p.m. Texted her, "Hey, finally done, coming up." She buzzed me in immediately. Jade's apartment was on the third floor. I took the stairs, trying to calm my breathing. My shirt was slightly wrinkled from dinner. I'd sprayed cologne in the car, different scent from what I'd worn with Emma, different performance for a different audience. She opened the door before I could knock. "Hey," she said, smiled, but her eyes were doing that thing again, watching, calculating. "Hey, I'm so sorry about the airport. Work has been insane." "It's okay. Come in." Her apartment smelled like lavender. She had lit candles. There was wine on the coffee table, 2 glasses. "I thought we could have a quiet night in," she said. "I'm exhausted from the conference anyway. Just wanted to see you." "That sounds perfect." We sat on the couch. She poured wine. We talked about her conference, the surgeries she had observed, the networking she had done. I listened, asked questions, tried to be present. But I kept thinking about Emma, wondering if she was setting up the record player, if she was texting her friends about her birthday, if she suspected anything at all. Jade stopped mid-sentence. "You're not really here, are you?" she said quietly. "What? No, I'm here. I'm listening." "Marcus, I can tell when your mind is somewhere else. You've been distant for weeks. And tonight, I don't know, something feels off." My pulse spiked. "It's work, I promise. Things should calm down after this launch, and I missed you. I really did." She looked at our hands, then at my face, and I saw something shift, a decision being made. "Okay," she said, but she didn't believe me. We finished our wine, made small talk. Around 10:15 p.m., I said I should probably head out, let her rest. "You're going home?" "Yeah, it's late. You need sleep." "Or you have somewhere else to be." The air changed. Suddenly, I was very aware of my breathing. Shallow, controlled. "What do you mean?" "I mean, you've been acting strange for months." "You're never available on certain nights. You barely post anything online. You're vague about your schedule. And tonight, you couldn't pick me up from the airport on a Saturday evening because of work. But Marcus, your company doesn't do product launches on weekends. I checked your company's website. The launch isn't until next month." Oh, God. My stomach dropped into my feet. I don't... That's not... Are you seeing someone else?" I should have been honest right there. I should have said yes. I should have apologized. I should have told her everything. Instead, I said, "No, of course not. Why would you think that?" It was automatic, defensive. The lie was so ingrained at that point that it came out before I could stop it. Jade stood up, crossed her arms. "Because I'm not stupid, Marcus. I'm observant. I notice things, and for the past 2 months, I've been noticing a lot of inconsistencies. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you seeing someone else?" My throat was so dry I couldn't swallow. "Jade..."
Yes or no? The silence stretched between us. 5 seconds. 10. I could hear the clock on her wall ticking. It's complicated, I finally said. It's a yes or no question. I didn't plan for this to happen. Oh my God. She stepped back like I'd physically hit her. Oh my God, you are. You've been cheating on me. It's not like that. What is it like then? Explain it to me, because from where I'm standing, you've been lying to my face for months. How long? I couldn't look at her. A while. How long, Marcus? Since the beginning, almost. The sound she made was somewhere between a laugh and a sob. Since the beginning. So our entire relationship? Every time you said you loved me? Every time we talked about the future? Every time you... She stopped, shook her head. Get out. Jade, please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. You've been living a double life. You've been lying to me and whoever else for months, maybe longer, and you just kept lying to my face even when I asked you directly. Get out of my apartment. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. Now get out before I call the cops. I left. Walked down those stairs in a daze, got in my car, sat in the parking lot while my ears rang with white noise. She knew. It was over. 8 months of deception collapsed in 10 minutes. And Emma still didn't know anything. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, maybe longer. Time felt strange, elastic, and frozen at the same time. My phone was in my hand. I should call Emma. I should tell her before Jade did. But what would I even say? How do you explain this kind of betrayal? I started driving. Not toward Emma's apartment, not toward home, just driving. Around 11 p.m., my phone rang. Emma's guitar riff. I let it ring once, twice, picked up on the third. Hey, I said. My voice sounded hollow. Hey, are you okay? You said you'd be back by 10:30. I know. I'm sorry. The work thing got complicated. Do you need help? I can come to you. No, it's fine. I think I need to go home tonight. I'm exhausted. Pause. Marcus, what's going on? You sound weird. I'm fine. Just tired. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Okay. I love you. Those words hit like a physical weight. I love you too. I hung up. Stared at the phone, waited for it to ring again, for Jade to have called Emma somehow, for the whole thing to implode immediately. But nothing happened. The phone stayed silent. I drove home, got into my apartment around midnight, stood in the shower until the water ran cold, got into bed, stared at the ceiling, thought about texting Jade, thought about calling Emma, did neither. Fell asleep around 3 a.m. Part 10. Sunday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls, 34 text messages, all from Emma. My heart stopped. She knew. Jade had told her. It was over. I opened the messages with shaking hands. But they weren't angry. They were worried. Marcus, call me. Are you okay? You scaring me. Please just let me know you're alive. I'm about to drive to your apartment. I called her immediately. She picked up on the first ring. Oh my God, where have you been? I've been calling you for hours. I'm sorry, my phone died. What's wrong? What's wrong? Marcus, I got a message this morning from someone claiming to be your girlfriend. She sent me screenshots of your texts, photos of you two together. She said you've been dating both of us for months. There it was, the collapse, the end. My hands went numb, then my arms, then everything. Marcus, is it true? I couldn't speak, literally could not make my throat produce sound. Marcus, is it true? Yes. Silence. I could hear her breathing, fast, shallow breaths. How long? She whispered. January. January? We started dating in February. So you were with her first? We started dating around the same time. So you've been dating both of us for 10 months? Emma, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. Don't say you're sorry. You're not sorry. You're a liar. You've been lying to me every single day for 10 months. Every time you said you loved me, every time we talked about moving in together, every time I told you about my ex and how scared I was to trust someone again. Every single time. She was crying now. I could hear it. I thought I'd found someone real, she said. I thought you were different. I defended you to my friends when they said you seemed distant. I believed you when you said you were private. I trusted you. And you've been playing me this entire time. I wasn't playing you. My feelings for you were real. Stop. Just stop. You don't get to tell me your feelings were real. You don't get to pretend this was some tragic love triangle. You made a choice every single day to lie to me. You chose yourself over my dignity, over my right to make informed decisions about my own life. You're not confused. You're not torn. You're selfish. And you're a coward. Each word felt like a physical blow. Emma, don't contact me again. Delete my number. If you see me somewhere, walk the other direction. We're done. And honestly, I hope Jade dumps you too. You don't deserve either of us. She hung up. I sat there on my bed, phone in my hand, and felt the full weight of what I'd done. Part 11. That was 6 weeks ago. Both women are gone. Emma blocked me on everything. Jade sent one final message. I hope the guilt eats you alive. You earned it. Then nothing. I haven't dated since. Can't imagine starting. Can't imagine looking someone in the eye and asking them to trust me after what I did. Work has been brutal. I requested a demotion, moved to a different team where I didn't have to lead anyone. Couldn't handle the responsibility. Couldn't handle people depending on me. My friends know what happened. Some stopped talking to me. Some tried to be supportive, but I could see the disgust underneath. One friend, David, just said, "Man, what were you thinking?" I didn't have an answer. I've been in therapy twice a week, trying to understand why I did it, why I kept lying even when I had. My therapist asked me a question last week that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. When did you decide it was okay to steal their agency? I didn't understand at first. She explained, every day you lied to them, you stole their ability to make informed choices about their own lives. You decided their truth for them. You decided what information they deserved. You played God with their reality. She was right. I didn't just lie. I controlled their entire perception of our relationships. I denied them the basic human right to consent to the relationship they were actually in. Emma wanted a monogamous partnership. Jade wanted the same thing, both explicitly, both clearly, and I took that choice away from them by lying. That's not love. That's not confusion. That's control. That's abuse. The hardest part hasn't been the loneliness. It's been the self-knowledge. I spent months telling myself I was a good person in a complicated situation, that I genuinely cared about both women, that I was just trying to figure out my feelings, that I was protecting them from pain until I could make a decision. All lies. The lies I told myself were worse than the lies I told them. The truth? I liked the validation. I liked feeling wanted by two amazing women. I liked the ego boost of maintaining this elaborate system. I liked knowing I could pull it off. And when it got hard, when the guilt became unbearable, I just pushed through. Told myself it would resolve eventually, that I'd figure it out, that no one would get hurt if I just managed things correctly. But people always get hurt. That's the nature of deception. It's a debt you're taking out on someone else's emotional well-being, and eventually the bill comes due with interest. I think about Emma sometimes. Wonder if she's dating again. Hope she found someone honest, someone who deserves her laughter and her trust. someone who doesn't make her doubt her intuition. I think about Jade, about the way she looked at me when I couldn't answer her question, the betrayal in her eyes, the fact that she'd suspected for weeks but hoped she was wrong. I took that hope and I crushed it. For what? For comfort? For ego? For the temporary high of feeling like the main character in my own little drama? Last week, I was at a coffee shop, saw Jade through the window. She was with someone, another woman, laughing at something on her phone. She looked happy, lighter than I'd seen her in months. I left before she could see me. Didn't want to ruin her day. That's the thing about betrayal. You don't just lose the relationship, you lose the right to exist in that person's space. You become a source of pain, something to be avoided. I deserve that. Both of them deserve peace, and peace means my absence. My therapist says I need to forgive myself eventually, that I can't spend the rest of my life in punishment mode, that growth means accepting what I did, understanding why, and becoming someone different. Maybe she's right, but right now, forgiveness feels premature. Right now, I'm still sitting with the weight of it, the full, crushing weight of having hurt two people who trusted me. People ask me what I learned. Here's what I know. Love isn't about collecting feelings. It's not about keeping your options open until you're absolutely certain. It's not about managing people's emotions to avoid difficult conversations. Love is about honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about respecting someone enough to tell them the truth and let them make their own choices. It's about understanding that other people aren't supporting characters in your narrative. They're whole human beings with their own agency, their own dignity, their own right to informed consent. I didn't learn that by being a good person. I learned it by being a terrible one. Part 14. The comments on this kind of story always split the same way. Half the people say I'm a monster who deserves everything I got. Half say everyone makes mistakes and I'm being too hard on myself. Both are kind of right. Yes, I made a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. Hundreds of choices, every day for 10 months. Every time I could have been honest and chose comfort instead. Every time I could have ended things with one person and chose to keep both. Every time I felt guilty and pushed through anyway. Those weren't accidents, they were decisions. And yes, I'm a person who did a monstrous thing, but I'm trying to be someone different now, trying to understand why I valued my own comfort over two people's right to the truth, trying to make sure I never do this again. Here's what I wish I'd understood before I destroyed everything. If you're not ready to be honest with someone, you're not ready to be with them. Period. If you're figuring out your feelings, you do it alone or you do it honestly. You don't do it by deceiving multiple people. If you can't choose between two people, you're not ready for either of them. Real love, the kind that builds something lasting, requires clarity. It requires commitment. It requires showing up as a full, honest human being. If you're lying to someone about the nature of your relationship, you don't love them. You love what they give you. There's a difference. And if you think you can manage this kind of deception without consequences, you're wrong. It will fall apart. It always falls apart. And when it does, you won't just lose them, you'll lose yourself. The person you become to maintain the lies is someone you won't recognize. Part 15. I saw Emma's Instagram last month. She'd unblocked me, or maybe I'd never been blocked, just blocked from seeing her stories. Either way, I could see her profile. She'd posted a photo, her and a group of friends at some outdoor concert. She was smiling, really smiling, that full-face joy she used to have before I dimmed it. The caption was something about new beginnings and choosing yourself. Classic breakup language. But she looked genuinely happy. I didn't like the photo, didn't comment, didn't reach out. Just looked at it for a minute and felt relief. Not for me, for her. That she'd moved forward. That I was becoming something in her past rather than her present. That's what healing looks like, I think. When the person you hurt stops hurting.
I don't know if I'll ever reach out to apologize properly. My therapist says it depends on whether it would help them or just make me feel better. Right now, it would probably just reopen wounds. Maybe someday, years from now, if I've actually become someone different, I can say what I should have said then. But for now, the best apology is absence, is letting them heal, is not making their recovery about my redemption. Part 16. So here's the lesson, the one I paid 10 months and 2 relationships to learn. You can't love someone and lie to them. You can't respect someone and deceive them. You can't claim to care about someone while actively denying them the truth about their own life. That's not love. That's possession. That's manipulation. That's cowardice dressed up in romantic language. If you're thinking about dating multiple people without telling them, stop. If you're already doing it, come clean. Now. Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week, not when the timing is right. Now. The timing will never be right. There's no perfect moment to tell someone you've been lying. But there's also no good moment to continue lying. Every day you wait is another day you're stealing from them, another day they can't get back. Be the person who chooses honesty over comfort. Be the person who respects other people's agency. Be the person who understands that real love requires real truth. Don't be me. I'm Marcus. I'm 34 years old. I'm a liar in recovery. And I'm telling you this because maybe, just maybe, you can learn from my mistakes instead of making your own. 2 women, 1 man, 0 chances it ends well. I proved that theory correct. Don't test it yourself.